Alright. First ride to the bar on the reconfigured softail bobber. Hopefully it tightened everything up. Hopefully. And hopefully everything runs good, because it's been a while since I've ridden this thing. And, I mean, it's been on the lift for months. And hopefully everything just goes alright. Tail lights. Let's see if we got brake lights. Alright. Alright. Off like a herd of turtles. Oh. Turn the fucking headlights on. That'd be good. No idea how this headlight's adjusted. I had to build a new headlight bracket. I also don't know how well that's going to work, because my old headlight bracket was completely stripped out to the point where it was absolutely unusable. I forgot what it was like riding fucking super narrow bars like this. Makes the steering real heavy. Boy, my front brakes, I almost have none. I mean, like, the handle feels good, but they ain't stopping much. Something to be aware of. I mean, it might be, that might just be how they were. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've rode this bike every single day. So far, she's sailing along. Stop, grab some cash, then I gotta hit the gas station for sure. I don't trust this gauge. I did a real hacky job rewiring it. It was kind of in a hurry last fall when my brother was in town and he needed to ride this bike. And it's definitely not trustworthy. Probably end up lowering this bike again. I've got the ride height like set to stock right now. I might just fucking hardtail it. The old softail's got plenty of power though. Always did. Off the line, she's fast as shit. Just not used to the clutch anymore. But I will be. Start riding this thing again regularly, which would be nice. Give the dyno a little break. I know, I swear I made this video like 6 months ago and then I didn't ride it. So the story with that was, I decided I wanted to bob out the rear fender, and I had cut a section out of the rear fender, and I had it sitting on the floor of my garage, and my buddy Dino came over with his kid. I don't remember what was going on, why Dino came over, but I had just bought Logan's XR200. He might have been just stopping by to see that. I don't really remember, but I happened to be sitting, not really on the seat, not like I was sitting on the XR. I was leaning against it. I wasn't really sitting on it. I was leaning against the XR and drinking a beer, and I ended up going ass backwards when the bike tipped over, and me and the XR landed on the softail's fender, rear fender, destroying it. Absolutely just fucking destroying it, to where it was completely unusable. And because this is a 200 wide tire, it's like a $300 mistake on a bike that I wasn't riding with any regularity, and so it just sat. Oh, you can actually see the fender that I made. It's not really a fender, it's a cowl. I got a little bit of hammering and grinding and shit to do on it before it's ready for paint. I think I'm actually going to paint it. Oh yeah, she still cruises at 80 pretty good. So, I decided to finally do something with this bike, and I got the idea to build a cowl. You know, like on a drag bike or on a cafe racer. And I had some stainless steel exhaust piping, like 24-inch exhaust piping, left over from a big piece of equipment I had modified from my buddy Jones's company. And that's what I turned into the cowl. That's what I built it out of. And in the process of doing that, I'm using Steve's solo seat. God damn, you guys are fucking idiots, man. I actually raised the seat quite a bit to make it more comfortable. This is like a LaPera solo seat, and it really sucked in stock configuration. Like you literally just felt like you were sliding off the bike all the time. So I leveled the seat out, give myself kind of a little, you know, perch to sit on. Mounted all my electronics inside the cowl, which was nice because that's always been the fight with this bike, is trying to keep the electronics, trying to get the electronics to fit anywhere. You know, it's a fuel injected bike, and anything other than the stock seat, it was really hard to stuff any of the electronics into it. So I built the cowl with that in mind, was a place to store all that crap, and so far it's working pretty good. We'll find out, you know, like I'll get a couple of 100 miles on it, and then I'll check how tight everything is, see if everything's holding up, see if anything's cracking or bending or breaking. It is a Harley, and shit does that a lot. Yeah, I definitely gotta drop. I definitely gotta lower this bike with the new seat height and everything too. It's at about the seat height of my Dyna, and I got short ass little legs. Hardtailing it, that'll cure that. I think my headlight's pretty fucking, other than it's vibrating so bad, but I think it's adjusted properly. Or at least fucking close to it. I mean, I don't know how, I just held it up there. It was literally on the lift. Didn't even turn it on and aim it at anything. I think might actually fucking keep my one stock mirror. I have a mirror that I used to run on this. Just a little tiny one, just to be legal. Well, I mean, you couldn't see anything in it. It was absolutely worthless. Other than if a cop pulled up next to you, he saw that you had a mirror. I've never made that light. Not one time have I ever made that light. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I should probably figure out what that noise is. Hopefully I just didn't fucking just case my fucking fender. So the reason I rushed getting this thing back together is because the Dyna's been fucking up, and I thought I fixed it with a reflash on the computer and the aftermarket computer, and it was good for a day, and then it was way worse. So I rushed this thing back together so that for one, it was on the lift, and I needed the space to work on the Dyna. And you know, the tuner that I run, it's a Fuel Moto micro tuner, and it's pretty involved installing it and taking it off. So I was thinking that I was pretty much, and I still may have to take the gas tank off the bike, pretty much tear apart the throttle body and uninstall this fucking tuning system. But I was finishing up this thing today, and the battery on it was dead. I mean, I had it on the charger. I knew the battery on it was dead. Don't fucking hit me, asshole. I knew the battery on it was dead, and I had it on the charger, but it wasn't fully charged yet. And I didn't want to, you know, this thing is such a pig to start, you know, like it really eats batteries. It could really use compression releases between the cam and the fucking, you know, 96 cubic inches and all that bullshit. So I grabbed, knowing I wasn't going to be riding the Dyna for at least a couple of days, I pulled the battery out of the Dyna, and as I went to remove the battery, I happened to touch the ground wire for my tuner, and the ground wire fell apart at the connection. Like literally just fucking fell apart. Like it was just barely holding on, and it was probably you know, like making a connection and then not making a connection. Basically exactly how the bike was running, you know, fucked up like that, where, you know, like it'd run great and then all of a sudden it'd lose power, then it'd run great and then it'd lose power. And so I after I got this thing all set and took it for a little short test drive, I soldered in a new end on the ground wire, hooked it up, fired the Dyna up, and it started better than it has in, you know, since this problem first started happening. And took it around the block, and it seemed to have absolutely no issues. Of course, I didn't, you know, like I haven't really taken it for a ride, so, and the problem wouldn't really start until you were like 3 or 4 miles from home, and I didn't have time to actually get 3 or 4 miles from home to really give it a thorough test drive to see if it's actually cured or not. But it was acting way better than it had, and I might just get lucky. That would be nice. But we'll see. We might have to tear the Dyna apart yet. Not really sure, but at least this thing's back on the road. So if it is down for any length of time, at least I'll have a bike to ride. Of course, you know, this one now has a solo seat on it, and no passenger pegs, so, you know, no family riding, like can't take the wife with me. But about the first time that, you know, that's an issue, if there's any parts that need to be bought for the Dyna, she'll let me get them because she loves to ride. And we built that Dyna as basically like the family truckster, you know, like that was the bike that we were going to take on trips, and if you know, if she was going to be riding with me, we would ride that one because it's nice and comfortable and everything fucking works right. And I did catch that fucking fender. Damn it. Well, we'll know to relief that. Come on, move, asshole. So yeah, I definitely did not you know, I might be able to just fucking roll that. That might be how that works. I'll just fucking roll it.